Now, going from one star to the next, I am extremely proud to welcome the next speaker. Just like the European Commission working for equality and diversity, we now have a real star with us. And she's coming all the way from London, United Kingdom. She is the co-founder of Equal IT, which is a mission-driven business working to diversify tech teams through refined talent acquisition. And she's also the host of Equal Inspired podcast. So, a real star, please put your hands together for Ellie King.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much. It's an absolute honour to be with you here all this evening. So, my name is Ellie King, and I'm the co-founder of Equal IT. Co-founder? Wow. If you'd have told that Ellie 6 years ago that she was going to be a co-founder, she would never have believed you. Broken down, alone, exhausted. This was the Ellie 6 years ago, desperately trying to navigate my career in what was seen to be a male-dominated space. Nervous to present ideas in a room out of fear of judgments or being completely ignored or laughed at, and overthinking and doubting my abilities every single day. I was masking my true self to fit into this bro culture that I'd found myself in. And I truly felt like I didn't belong. And it was in that moment, it took me back to a time when I was growing up. So for many years, I actually played football at quite a high level. And it was at that time I wanted to play on the playground with the boys. And I remember trying to approach them all, often being told, girls can't play football. This is a boys' game. What do girls know? Girls belong, and dare I say this, in the kitchen. Now, being younger and not so in tune with biases or stereotypes, I knew that behaviour wasn't okay, but it fueled this fire within me to prove to them that my gender, it didn't define me. And so I come up with a plan. It was to score as many goals and to skill past as many of the boys as I could. Much to their dismay, I scored many goals when I did have the chance, but it dawned on me that 6 years ago, that time in my career, that fire that I once had, it had gone out. And I was ready to leave an industry that I truly loved, where I could build meaningful connections, where I could support more equitable opportunity in tech. I was ready to leave because I felt like I didn't belong. And then the statistic hit me that women leave the tech industry at a 45% higher rate than men. Was I going to be a statistic? Now, in my most difficult of times, there were two things to truly help me feel like I could belong. The first, well, it was the power of allyship. And I recognize I come from a place of privilege to say I've had an ally, but this person helped to build my confidence back up. They were the upstander. They called out the behaviours that were not okay, and they gave me this safe space where I could share my feelings, my concerns, and they helped me to challenge my own inner imposter. And I'm lucky enough to call that that ally, my co-founder today, who still continues to help me challenge my inner imposter, like coming on this stage this evening and speaking to you all. So thank you very much, Jonathan, for doing that. But secondly, I couldn't be what I couldn't see. So I had to be proactive in surrounding myself with female role models in tech. And it was through doing that I uncovered the power of conversation, the power in sharing your story, to uncover solutions, to get really valuable advice, to build a support system, and to, more importantly, know that you're not alone. So I just want to thank each and every one of you in this room, because if it wasn't for role models like you all, I certainly wouldn't be standing here today. So thank you. And it it was through that power of conversation, I asked many women in tech, if you were to reflect on the times you felt like you most belonged, what actions, what behaviours led to that feeling? And I want to shine the spotlight on that to continue raising awareness and celebrating the positive things that we can experience as women in this industry. So a reoccurring theme, it was around recognition and acknowledgement, feeling like you can truly belong. And how does that look like when you're recognized? Well, I spoke to a developer and she mentioned that when she was seen for the skill set she brings, the expertise that she brings to the table, was when she felt like she could truly belong. And that was reinforced with comments like, you have a lot of experience in this space. What do you think? Or I trust you. I have your back. I believe in you. Or quite simply being invited to a meeting that was on a topic relevant to her experience. I spoke to a business leader and they have a remote first business and a Slack channel dedicated specifically to gratitude. And this is where they shine the spotlight and give recognition where it's deserved to every individual team member in their team. And it could quite simply be the littlest of things, like putting a smile on somebody's face. But when you give that recognition and that thank you, you then go on to dedicate seeds that go on to plant trees in South America. And that's through a platform called Evergreen in Finland. And it brings everybody into that mission of continually giving recognition where it's deserved. Another reoccurring theme was around empathetic leadership. A DevOps engineer I spoke with said she felt she most belonged when she was psychologically safe. So what does that look like, psychological safety? Well, she said it was a respectful, feedback-driven culture, an environment where it's healthy to challenge ideas, to give opposing opinions, but that it's reframed, that this is a safe space for us to do this, for our learning and our growth. It was an environment where failure was acknowledged as an opportunity to grow, and where her leader would embrace blameless team post-mortems. When things go wrong, instead of pointing the finger, actually saying, how can we make sure we can do better next time? And it was the power of vulnerability. She mentioned when she saw her leader really be very candid in the things that they did know, they didn't know. It helped to encourage that feeling of belonging. And she was also going through an extremely difficult time. She had quite a deep conversation with her manager to the point where she broke down. Her leader took the time to listen. They understood. And they also shared a very personal story that was quite similar. And it was through getting to know that person behind the performer that she felt she could truly belong. A final theme was genuinely feeling supported. So an architect I spoke with, when she started her new business, she received a few emails from some of her male colleagues, and she noted something quite unique in the signature of their email. It was a short statement, and it read, I'm on the allyship journey. I'm not perfect. I'm learning every day, but my inbox is always open, and I'm here to support. And it was through that one simple statement, it made her feel like, wow, this could be a safe space where I could belong, where I could have valuable conversations. And she did. It led on to incredible conversations around how the allyship journey can be improved, around how you can build a more inclusive culture. And these conversations are continuing to happen in her business through that one simple statement. And finally, a now engineering manager that I spoke with, she was really going back and forth with her promotion, not too sure. Her manager at the time said, well, why not? I know you can do this. If you want to do it, I will support you. But these are the reasons why you can do it. You add value to this team because of X, Y, Z. And I learn from you every day your character within X, Y, Z. It was through that specific feedback and just uplifting her character that she then decided to take the leap and is now thriving as an engineering manager. Now, naturally, I could be standing here all evening to shed light on some of the really great examples. But I want to leave you with a framework by Mary Williams, who is a CTO, on the concept of belonging. You can do this as an individual, you can do this in an organisation. But ask yourself in your next environment, am I expected here? Is there evidence to back that up? For example, if you're a mother, is there a pumping room? If you're a Muslim, is there a prayer room? And ask yourself, am I respected here? Are there underlying assumptions, stereotypes, or biases about you or anybody within your team? And finally, can I be myself and be successful here? Because high belonging is linked to a 56% increase in job performance. And if you're an organisation, take on different personas from underrepresented communities. Ask yourself those 3 questions. Are you catering to those communities? And if not, how can you do that? Thank you so much for your time. It's an absolute honour to be here with you tonight. I'm quite nervous, but thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ellie. And I mean, we have a topic to discuss in the after party. We're talking to a sports tech entrepreneur and a Premier League huge fan. Okay. So I love that. And you really are a true role model for everyone in here. So thank you so much for sharing.